Well, I don't think King Charles will necessarily strip Harry of his dukedom. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And please like and subscribe. So, King Charles, because he's a king and he's a monarch, he's going to be making decisions for the future, not just for the here and now. Harry's his son, and he's the Duke of Sussex. Meghan is the Duchess of Sussex. However, Meghan's title can go away with just the sign of some divorce papers. She could be out the door. Harry's a relatively young man. He's not even in his 40s yet. If he and Meghan were to get divorced, even within the next few years, which I think they will, he could possibly, and I would say most likely, remarry. The new woman he remarries will be the new Duchess of Sussex. That title does not belong to Meghan. And I think King Charles is leaving the door open for a potentially new successful marriage with a more compatible woman who will fit in better with the family and possibly give Charles more grandchildren. And this is really significant because even though Archie will inherit the Duke of Sussex title, there's still the possibility of more children to come along at a later time through Harry's second marriage, depending on who he marries. And if that's the case, then it's possible that those children can become integral and be included in the main line, maybe not as working royals, but as the grandchildren of the king. They would be future prince and princesses. They would have very significant roles and position in the monarchy. King Charles, it doesn't really benefit him to strip Harry and Meghan at this point when their marriage is unlikely to continue for very long. He's probably waiting out the storm to see what happens, if Meghan will file for divorce, if Harry will file for divorce, or, whatever future outcome there might be. Keep in mind, King Charles himself is on his second wife. His first wife, Diana, great lady, not very compatible with Charles. They didn't have a happy marriage. She didn't get along so well with the Queen, even though she had a lot of respect for the Queen. And they just were not great together. But Princess Diana produced a future king who is very close with his grandmother, or was very close with his grandmother, is very tied into the monarchy, and is a future king. And he's doing incredibly well with his wife, Princess Catherine. So even though that marriage was not successful, the outcome of the marriage was very successful, where it produced a future king who is positioned to do a great job as a future king, and with whom Charles is still very close, and of course very close with the children. I say all this to say, Archie, again, will be the future Duke of Sussex. Just because, as of right now, he doesn't see his grandfather and he doesn't have a relationship with the monarchy, doesn't mean that that won't be the case in the future. Especially after Meghan and Harry divorce, it is possible that Archie may perhaps be brought around his grandfather and the other royals, to become more familiar with them, to get to know them, to be integrated into the monarchy in the future. You just don't know, because Princess Diana, when she left, she didn't take her boys off with her and disappear into the night. They still remained very connected to the monarchy. And I think especially if Harry were to remarry, and perhaps he and Meghan split custody, which is not going to be fun, especially with a woman like Meghan. I already feel sorry for Harry with the future divorce, because it's going to be hell on earth for him. But again, if it possibly leaves the door open for Archie to become integrated into the royal family later, and for future children with a second wife, it does not benefit Charles to strip Harry of his dukedom right now. It's too soon. He needs to see what's going to happen, what the divorce looks like, what the custody arrangement looks like for Archie. And Lilibet, technically, but I think Archie, because he stands to inherit Harry's dukedom, is the more, I hate to say it, but we all know that the monarchy is a hierarchy, so more important child in this equation. And to see what his, again, once he's a single man, he'll likely remarry, see what his future wife looks like, see what She's probably going to be someone who's a much better fit for the family, much as Camilla was a much better fit as the Princess of Wales. So I think Charles is going to sit on this for a while. I don't see him stripping Harry of his dukedom anytime soon. I think he needs to see what is going to happen for the future. He has to make decisions for the future, not for the here and now, not for his current feelings. Also, I think Charles is a little bit soft when it comes to Harry. I think he and Princess Diana were very sensitive not to make Harry feel inferior or to show too much favor. But because Harry is so painfully insecure and lost his mother at a young age, I think he succumbed to that kind of inferiority complex anyway. And I do believe that Charles and Diana kind of did everything they could to make sure that didn't happen. But unfortunately, that kind of happened anyway. But all is not lost. All is not lost. I believe King Charles is going to sit on this. I believe Harry is kind of the prodigal son right now. Charles is going to see if he comes back into the fold, possibly with a new woman, possibly with more children, possibly with Archie. So he's going to sit on this. He's going to wait to see what happens.